Hi, my name is Micah Hutchins Lopez. I'm the captain of the Kalamazoo dance team, and this is your all-access pass to what it's like to choreograph for the Kalamazoo dance team. So the first step is to just pick the songs that you're going to use, and I recommend picking a song that you know really, really well and that you listen to a lot, or something that you can listen to a lot that you would like to learn the ins and outs of, because when you're choreographing, you need to know like what beats you want to hit, what beats you don't want to hit, if you want to be a little bit flowy or not. So just picking a song that you kind of can already see a vision for just makes it easier, and it makes it easier for you to explain to people that you're teaching. And I also recommend that when you're picking the song, you pick how much of the song you want to do, because even if it's not mixed together yet, it's still really important to pick how much of the song you want to do. You want to do 30 seconds of this song and a minute of this song? Do you want to do a minute of this song, 30 seconds of this song, 30 seconds of this song? Do you want to just do the opening of this song and then a minute of a song and then the ending of another song? Like how many songs do you want to do and how much of each song do you want to do is really important to know, because then you kind of create the vision for it, and you also can learn those songs really well as you're preparing to choreograph for them. Second step is deciding the vibe of the piece. Do you want it to be hard hitting? Do you want it to be aggressive? Do you want it to be kind of chill? Do you kind of want it to be like subtle moments of sass? It really depends on you and depends on the song, but the sooner you decide the vibe of it, the better it will be. Step 3 is picking when you're going to start choreographing in the song. So you're going to start at the beginning, you're going to start at the end, you're going to start in the middle and kind of go out. You're going to start the chorus and then work your way backwards and forwards. What part of the song you're going to start at, because that kind of shapes the whole center of the piece. I know sometimes as a choreographer it's really, really hard for people to start choreographing at a certain place, and so like if you get off to a really bad start, you're not going to feel very confident about choreographing the rest of the piece. And so wherever you start is the most important part, because how you start will put the trajectory for how you finish. So start off on a good point, start off at a part that you know that you already have a vision for, and then just keep going. Step 4 is just to go for it. Literally just start going. I know the last step I said just pick a part of the song, but really just like go for it wherever you feel the most comfortable with. It's a lot about your comfortability as a choreographer to start off with, especially if it's the first time you're choreographing something. Start where you feel comfortable and just go for it, and just get to the part where you feel comfortable to feel uncomfortable. Yes, like being a choreographer is about being comfortable, like I just said, but also it's about being uncomfortable. It's about making steps and doing things that you wouldn't normally do, and then being able to showcase that to the world. Listen to the on beats and the off beats. I know that in the past, captains have really taught me especially what it means to hit the off beats, and that's kind of something I wasn't comfortable with, or picking the left side over my right side because I'm right side dominant. And so just kind of listening to the beats and seeing if you want to hit the beats or the words is really important. Like when you're performing to an audience, the audience is always going to hear the offbeats, and so when you choreograph to the offbeats, they're like, oh my god, I didn't hear that part of the song before. And it just makes the piece that much more special and that much cooler for them to see and appreciate. Don't be afraid to kind of go flowy. Don't be afraid to do like a little body roll, little like wave in your arms. Don't be afraid to do that, because I don't know, it adds a little bit more like sass and attitude to the piece. But also don't be afraid to get aggressive, because that also adds a different level of sass and attitude to the piece. It really depends on like how many beats you're trying to hit. Is it mainly just rapping? Is it mainly just singing? Are you really just trying to hit the music? Like what is your agenda? What are you trying to accomplish? What's your goal? And also when you go aggressive, the audience is gonna be like, oh snap. Like you don't need to go soft on them. Don't be afraid to hit hard movements and kind of like not scare them, but like kind of throw them a little curveball, make them a little off kilter, because they also really enjoy that part of it too. And don't be afraid to mess up. Don't be afraid to make an idea and it doesn't work with the music. I know that I do that all the time. I'm like, oh, what if this doesn't work? And then I just don't even try it. But trying it with the music after creating it is the only way that you're gonna know. And so make an idea, it might work out properly. You might have to fix like part of it and not do little extra movements you're trying to do, and make it simple as possible. But don't be afraid to not try a movement. Don't be afraid to mess up first and then be able to shift the change afterwards. If you don't like something, change it. That's like the biggest thing I've learned is If you don't like something, make sure that you feel comfortable with your work. Make sure that you're proud of your work. Yes, you're always growing as a choreographer. Yes, you're always learning about what you're supposed to be doing. But if you don't like something, change it so that you like it, because ultimately it is your vision. You have to be proud of what you do, because people aren't going to know, even before you start teaching, they're not going to know what you thought, what you see. So don't be afraid to change it so that you're comfortable with what you are producing and what you're showing to the world. You always have time, even all the way up to teaching it, to change it also. So don't be afraid, like 30 minutes before practice, to be like, oh, I don't really like that, and then change it. As long as you remember it, don't be afraid to change it. I've done that so many times, and then it ends up being so much better than I could have imagined. You'll most likely have multiple versions of things. It's gonna happen. Like literally, you're gonna have multiple versions. I've choreographed 3 different pieces once. Literally choreographed 3 different pieces. But you're gonna start somewhere and then be like, oh man, that would be really cool if I changed that to this to match this piece this part of the piece that I did later. It's gonna happen. That's okay. And we're here. You go back. Walk up to the thing. Boom. 1, 2. It's competition. I put them to shame. And a different kind of chick. We are not so good. I raised all these babies, call me Captain Jack Sling. And then please don't shoot my.
This is a Missy Elliott exclusive. Yeah. Walk up in the thing, I be on my game. If it's competition, I put them to shame. Different kind of chick, we are not the same. I raised all these babies, call me Captain Jack Sling. Please don't steal my style, I might cuss you out. What you doing now? I did for a while. Missy, go ahead, let it snap. I'ma snatch they wigs till I see that scab. Booty claps, flying across the map. Lambo on the block, looking like a snack. I show you how I do it, show you how it's done. Don't look for another Missy, cause there be no another one. Watch me, do it back. Watch me, do it back.
Repetition is your best friend. Once you have a piece down, repeat it as much as you're capable of doing, and just get it in your head. Because the more you know it, the more the people that you're teaching it are going to feel comfortable knowing it, because they're going to be watching you the entire time, because they don't know what they're supposed to be doing. So you teach it, and you're supposed to show them. And you will also learn it more as you teach them, which is just a normal set of things that's going to happen. You're going to learn as you teach them. But don't be afraid to just sit in the studio and repeat it as much as possible before you teach a chick. But think above and outside the box. Collaborate with an idea that you saw somewhere, make it better, because that's how you grow as a choreographer. And then step 5 is just record it so you remember it. Yes, you need to repeat it so that you remember it, but if you don't have access to a video that's recorded of your choreography, you're gonna forget it. I've forgotten things and had to go back to a video because I'm like, oh, did I do that here? Was it a straight face? Was it a fist? Was it an open hand? I have no idea. I got to the video, it was a fist, and problem is solved. If you don't record it, you're gonna forget something important. So record it, and you can at least say, oh, that was that. Let me change that because I didn't really like it, but I'm glad I had this to tell me that I needed to change it. Recording is so cool because you get to see yourself in the eyes of other people as well, and see how cool you look with music. And also, don't be afraid to record it without the music. Just record it with like the beats in your head. Say things out loud, because you don't always need to record to the music and be fast the first time. It can be the slow version, and then you progressively get better, which is why repetition is really your friend, because you can start off slow and get a little bit faster. So don't forget to record your choreography. A few more things that I've just learned as a choreographer. Your vision is going to change as you teach other people, because you're adding other people to your creation. And then the last thing, it might be good to adapt to the dancers that you have with you skill set. I know that I can't do the splits, and so if I learned choreography with splits was involved, I would either have to fake a split, I would have to do a really large straddle, or I wouldn't do it at all. And the choreographer might have to adapt to my skill set. But also, don't be afraid to keep it the same. because I know some dancers just kind of like want to quit. But the challenge is the best part about dancing. It's the challenge of learning it. If you ask any members of the dance team, I have probably given them choreography that they were like, there's no way that I will ever be able to do this. And they did it, and they looked good doing it, and they're happy that they had the challenge. So don't be afraid to challenge them, but also don't be afraid to adapt it to their stamina and their skill set, because it's only as good as what they're able to produce as dancers with you in your vision. I hope you enjoyed this kind of inside look and all access pass to what it's like to choreograph. And if you have any questions about choreography, don't be afraid to comment down below and ask the questions, and we will answer them as soon as possible. Don't forget to follow the Kalamazoo Dance Team on Instagram and Facebook at KZoo Dance Team or Kalamazoo College Dance Team.